Oh man, that was a nasty sneeze. Hey, what's up everybody? Daniel Sneeden in Wilmington, North Carolina, coming to you today with the most popular antidepressants. And I'm going to give you the inside scoop. Just real quick here about me. For 6 years I worked as a pharmacist, and it was before that time when I was in pharmacy school that I actually came across my first symptoms of depression. And it was before I would have a big exam or a big paper was due. I would feel just fear, just dread. You know what I'm talking about? Those were my first symptoms of depression. Once I became a pharmacist and I worked several years as a pharmacist, I became so stressed out that I was on so many medications, antidepressants, tranquilizers, and other meds. My weight shot up and I couldn't stand on my feet anymore. So here I am now bringing to you the inside scoop on the most popular antidepressants. Hope this is fun for y'all and you find it informative. Okay, let's get rocking. So, what are the most popular antidepressants? And they are the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's a big word. SSRIs. So what do they do? You know, what's going on here? Let's cover that real quick. Here is a picture, a diagram. Here's the presynaptic neuron in the brain and the postsynaptic neuron in the brain. Your neurons come together, and the space in between is called the synapse. And what happens is the neuron fires and it kicks out serotonin into the synapse. That serotonin binds to the receptors on the postsynaptic neuron on these sites here, and that elicits the action, the antidepressive effect of the serotonin. Now, right after they bind, they are sucked back up into the presynaptic neuron and stored there for next time. So the SSRIs, what do? They block that pump that is sucking the serotonin back up. As a result, the serotonin lingers in the synapse longer, binds to these receptors longer, and causes more action and gives you that perk up, that antidepressive effect of the SSRIs. Okay, let's get back to them now that you know about them. The most popular ones are here: Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft, Celexa, and Lexapro. And when I talk about these, I'm talking about the generic. The reason why these are the most popular is because they've been on the market the longest. They have the safest track record. They're the cheapest. And they work really good. They give a pretty nice perk up. I know I was on Prozac. That one made me drowsy, so I had to take it at night. My mom was on Paxil. She actually said that it helped with her chest tightness when she was at work. She actually picks the cuticles on her fingers, a nervous habit she has, and her doctor told her he could increase her dose and fix that picking. But anyway, Zoloft, one of my girlfriends was on Zoloft for major depression. That worked pretty good for her. Celexa, I was on Celexa, loved it. Had the fewest drug-drug interactions, the least sexual side effects, gave me a nice little perk up. I was able to find them pretty cheaply. I'll talk more about that. Lexapro is one of the isomers of Celexa. They found out the S and the R isomers pretty much mirror images of each other, that one of them was more effective, and that was Lexapro. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. Side effects of SSRIs: drowsiness. I think I talked about that with Prozac. The Celexa gave me a lot less. Nausea, dry mouth, insomnia. These are stimulants. Remember that. Nervousness, agitation, restlessness. Most of the test subjects that were, or many of them that were on these in the preclinical trials and clinical trials, were also on tranquilizers. So they had a medication to dole down, to calm them. Once the drug hit the mass market, lots of people were not on the tranquilizers, and so they were experiencing this excitation, this manic feeling, this nervousness. So that was one of the issues they had once these hit the market. Now they put a lot of people on Klonopin, lorazepam, and those other drugs if they have that. But dizziness, blurred vision, difficulty reaching orgasm, headache, weight gain, twice the suicidal thoughts. And that's likely 10 times higher due to the FDA, drug companies, healthcare industry being in cahoots. Get that money. Money, 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 money. People don't want to do the growth and the exercise and meditation and things that they need to do or eat right, so they take a pill, and the drug companies are more than happy to give them that. Long-term use of these antidepressants, as with all antidepressants, is brain shrinkage, movement disorders, akathisia, higher rates of incarceration. These are not helping people. In the long run, they're causing harm. So if you're on them for a short period, do what you have to do to get over whatever the bout of depression you have, a few months, maybe a year or two, but get off as soon as you can. A lot of times what's happening is in life we have to grow. We have to keep growing and learning and reading, and a lot of people stop reading. And sometimes all you need is that little bit of knowledge to help fill in the gap of what you're missing. Down below is a link called The Truth. Click that link. You're going to find a lot of useful information in there. I'll get to that later. And it might just be what you need for that gap to get you past what you're going through. How to save money on SSRIs. So most people are going to use prescription insurance. They have an employer that has a health insurance benefit. Inside of there, along with that, is their prescription benefit. This is usually with the health insurance. If you don't have that, there's many free prescription discount cards online. I remember the time I didn't have health insurance. I went online and downloaded 3 of the free prescription cards, brought them into the pharmacy, and told the cashier, try all 3 of these and tell me which one gives me the best savings. And they found out that GoodRx, it brought one of my prescriptions from $100 down to $40. I was like, wow. Drug savings plans, most places like Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart are going to have some kind of savings plan. For example, at Target, I was able to get 90 pills of generic Celexa for only $10. If you call CVS and Walgreens, they'll have something similar, but the turnover rate is so high at these places that a lot of times you have to word it correctly to get the person you're speaking with to understand what you're asking for. I think it's called the Savings Pass at Walgreens or CVS. Cash is when you have no discounts, no insurance, no savings discount card, nothing. It's the worst way to go. They're going to rake you over the coals and take a lot of your money. So don't just pay the full price. Always get at least a free discount card or use their savings plan. 6 ways to protect yourself from depression. I've watched hundreds of YouTube videos other than mine. I've researched and researched. I've studied, for a long time. And these 6 pillars here are things you can do to protect yourself that are proven, that are going to help you way more than any antidepressants will ever. The first one here, aerobic exercise. Simply walk 30 minutes 3 times a week. That's not that hard. 30 minutes is it. They're showing a lot of benefits to the brain. It's reconstructing itself, refueling itself, getting those neurotransmitters back in there. Omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil. Take those. They are building blocks for neurotransmitters. Sunlight. The sunlight hits your skin, passes through, and it activates the vitamin D that's already inside of your bloodstream, and that has an antidepressant effect. If you can't get sunlight, then get vitamin D supplementation. Talk to your doctor about that. Restful sleep. Get your sleep. Practice good sleep hygiene. Stop watching the screen an hour or 2 before going to bed. Just read. Do something relaxing. Don't get yourself worked up. Good sleep hygiene is a whole study in itself. If you're having a hard time getting a restful sleep, get that under control. Research it. Activities that prevent rumination. Our minds love problems. It loves to find problems, and that's why people love Sudoku and figuring out those kind of problems and things. But unfortunately, it latches on to worryful, fearful problems, and that's what causes anxiety and fear and depression for us. So do things, activities that prevent rumination. Stay busy. Keep moving. Movement suppresses that excess mind activity that's causing the problem. Social connection. We need people. It'd be nice if all of us could just live separate lives and not need anybody, and just go about our ways. But human beings have a need to communicate. We need laughing is very, very cathartic. We need to talk with people face to face. In person is the best. If you can't, do it over the phone. So what is depression? I don't really buy into that whole serotonin theory. We don't even know what the antidepressants are really doing. It's just kind of a theory they use to package it up and sell it to you to kind of say, this is what it is, and we've proven it. But it's a theory. We don't even know. So here's my layman's term of what depression is. We have a primitive fight or flight response that used to help us run from tigers and lions and bears and things. But now today, in this current modern day society, we don't really need it anymore. And it's causing a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. People explain it as a persistent, unexplainable feeling of fear. Any damage to the brain as we age, our brains become more fearful. It's just one of the personalities of the brain. It's often confused with sadness. Sadness is a natural human emotion. People will say, I'm depressed, when actually they're sad. It comes and goes. Depression is long-term, very severe, aches and pains. You feel awful all the time. That's really kind of depression. Here's a way I would like to kind of describe depression too. It's one of the many personalities of the mind. Our minds do things to us. One minute, I'm the best. I'm more spiritual than Johnny. I have more money. I know more. I can run faster. The next second, I'm the worst. Oh, what did I say? Did I hurt their feelings? I'm the worst. Oh, I'm sad. Maybe I'm afraid. Maybe I'm guilty. Maybe I'm prideful. Maybe I'm depressed. All these are identities. Drop all identities. I'm going to show you how to do that down below in a link there called The Truth. Click that link down below and get that. It might just be what you need. So what else do I need to know? There are other effective over-the-counter supplements you can take without a prescription. Like SAMe, it's one of my favorites. SAMe is a compound they discovered many years ago, and finally today they figured out how to mass produce it and synthetically create it in a way where they can make money. And what it does is it's a cofactor for all your neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. It causes an explosion of these in your brain, and it gives me a big zing, wakes me up, makes me happy. So I like that. Be careful with it. It can cause mania. St. John's wort is very common over in Europe. Even the doctors prescribe it. It's an herbal thing that has similar effect as SSRIs. I'm going to show you many other things you can take that are not prescription down below in The Truth. Learn how to stop your thoughts. When you can feel the life inside of your body, and a lot of people have forgotten their own life feeling. They try to replace it with drugs and loud music and extra sensational things, but just feel inside of your body. When you can do that, your thinking stops. So make that a common practice to feel inside of your body. It takes you inside and out of this outer world of worry and fear and inside your body, and just feel inside. Focus on your breathing. Always, when you feel depressed or fearful, breathe. Breath reconnects the mind to the body, and you can feel inside of it and slow down those negative, depressed thoughts. I'm going to show you many other ways how to do this down below in The Truth. Click that link down below. Read every day. You're here to grow. Read The Truth. Read autobiographies. You probably figured out by now that most people, relatives, friends, neighbors, teachers aren't going to tell you the truth because they don't discuss negativity. The news is biased and all money-based. The only place you're going to find the truth is autobiographies. And of course, my book down below called The Truth. Meditation. I feel very calm. 20 minutes, my back against the wall, lights out, breathing, counting backwards from 30, watching the numbers in my mind. It makes me much calmer every day. I do it right after my walk. Watch the movie The Secret immediately and put it into practice. Alright guys, that's everything. Down below is a link called The Truth. Click that link. Feel free to contact me. That's it. Love you guys. Take care. Oh man, that was a nasty sneeze. Hey, what's up everybody? Daniel Sneeden in Wilmington, North Carolina, coming to you today with the most popular antidepressants. And I'm going to give you the inside scoop. Just real quick here about me. For 6 years, I worked as a pharmacist, and it was before that time when I was in pharmacy school that I actually came across my first symptoms of depression. And it was before I would have a big exam or a big paper was due. I would feel just fear, just dread. You know what I'm talking about? Those were my first symptoms of depression. Once I became a pharmacist and I worked several years as a pharmacist, I became so stressed out that I was on so many medications, antidepressants, tranquilizers, and other meds. My weight shot up and I couldn't stand on my feet anymore. So here I am now bringing to you the inside scoop on the most popular antidepressants. Hope this is fun for y'all and you find it informative. Okay, let's get rocking. So, what are the most popular antidepressants? And they are the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's a big word. SSRIs. So what do they do?